Welcome to a muzzled chat. Folks, are you enjoying our episodes? How are you liking our content? I swear I'm doing my darndest to connect the dots on the level of importance. Our lives are at stake. Our futures are at stake. Our abilities, even on the basic levels to function, are at stake and under threat. My only kind of regret and wish at this point is not getting started sooner. Like Joe Rogan, watch out. Here on Muzzle Chat comes. We're coming for you. I mean, I'm grateful that man is finally letting out more important, relevant information instead of being entirely biased like he was gravely during the pandemic. Seems to be opening up more and more, which is fantastic. Tell him face to face, like, look, you have been gifted an amazing platform. What you do with that, I mean, with that platform comes great responsibility. You single-handedly could have really shifted the tide on so many things and still can to this day. It really is. Everything boils down to, and you can connect things over to the rulers and the ruled. And every day to me, it just blows my freaking mind that the many are allowing the few to rule over them in such a tyrannical, detrimental way. And these few are freaking perverts. They're sick. They're demonic, demented, and evil. We could connect that dot again and again and again. And we continually will. Well, I don't know if you can tell, but it's not even I feel. I know that I have been under attack lately, as we all are every day. Evil isn't going to give up ground easily on any of us. He's a lonely SOB, and he's got nothing better to do than drag as many souls down with him while we are here. But with that being said, God is right there by our side, championing. I mean, there's a few things I personally even struggle with. I know God is so good that we don't deserve his love. Yet he continually longs for us to choose him and choose his love. He's given us free agency of choice. And just like Cliff so eloquently put with that young lady, how can God love conditionally? He doesn't. He allows you the choice. But all good things are from God. So all these gifts, so at the point you don't choose him, of course it's going to be purgatory. It's going to be hell that we can't even imagine. But if we choose him, we can't even imagine the glorious place that would put us. But I digress. I kind of struggle with the thing here because there's a couple scriptures I've come across that pretty much depicts God not allowing Satan or evil to get between his love for us and our basically like our connection with him. I'm looking around in this mortal existence. Maybe it's a fear I need to work on. I don't know. Maybe I'm lacking the faith in him. Clearly, he's conquered death. He has the ability. Doesn't matter what bioweapon, Satan and all his minions conjure up that they could hit us with are going to diminish that connection. Maybe my faith is lacking. But evil is definitely trying to disrupt that connection. And who am I to say? It just, all I can do is by observing it. It seems like to a degree, evil is effectively disrupting God's plan for us here, where less and less of us are connecting that dot or seeking that relation, or I'm having a hard time explaining it. I'm still on the herks. What it boils down to, I guess, is a flawed man with minimal faith. I look around and I simply just do not see enough men in this crucial moment in time taking it serious enough. It blows my mind. It's like the fear, the ignorance, the selfishness, the pride. It's keeping even believers to showing up on the front lines. And there are ones out there with far more to lose than I. Damn it. Let me sacrifice. Let me be on the front lines on behalf of you and your families. All it really takes is if you could grasp what I'm saying and it resonates with you, to support this platform. Just get the message out above all. I don't even care about the funds. I don't care. I want to see the day the many no longer are duped and allow the few to rule over them. We truly do not deserve to be saved. It has been so clear, so apparent for so long. Just crazy how much God loves us. As much as I even want to be a bit upset with everyone right now on not doing more, I can feel his love creeping through. And I'm just so grateful for him. I'm going to need to take a second. I pray that we all seek God. I am a firm believer in prayer and would ask for your prayers of protection and of blessing and of growth. So wild as a spiritual battle, how it's intertwined with the flesh. It's just so crazy. And we're going to dive into some of that. And there's some very powerful information to go over today. So please stay tuned. I don't mean to be harsh on any of you. The fact of the matter is, we all could do more. We all could live a little more selflessly, walk more in Jesus's footsteps that would gravely bless our lives. I know there's additional steps and action we could take, especially in this digital age where it's magnified. I feel it's important to seize the moments on personal face-to-face levels every opportunity you got. And it becomes more and more challenging in this like city life we live. But versus sitting down and being absorbing to the digital space and just getting absorbed to where it's a time suck and just stealing your life away. Be intentional and engaged in a way that you're having these positive ripple effects as you're casting these stones across the water and it's rippling over. You just don't know the positive impact. It's like it's magnified in this digital space. It's like that one individual on the street, that really big smile, and how that brightens that person's day, and you just never know the butterfly effect and paying it forward. It's just so beautiful. Thank you for your support. for all your shares, likes, comments. Some may say, by certain standards of comparison, we've had a slow growth here. Some may say we are blowing up quickly. It's tough. It's tough to say. I really don't care about any of that comparison. What I know is that we're not big enough, period, considering the threats. I just want to have maximum impact and reach as many as we can. And that is solely relying on each and every one of you to get to those people. Whether it's this episode, whether it's one of the Lime episodes, whether it's one of the testimonials, whether it's the planting the seeds and connecting the dots, exposing the war machine, the importance of sourcing information, one of the many amazing guests we've had on. If you have any bright ideas, I would love to hear them. Reach out to me. Drop it in a comment or email unmuzzledchat@gmail.com. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Just push through it. All right, let's dive on in. Now I'm going to play a video here from SGT Report. They have a clip in this. I think it dates back to 2005, which I've seen. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it is intense what they go over, essentially talking as though the belief in God being a character, like a human flaw, and how scientifically they could fix that flaw in us. Super evil stuff. But since I am inhibited, and even though it's not the full length of that clip, these gentlemen do pretty decent talking about it. I am happy to let them bring it to light to you today. So with that being said, check this out.
Hey friends, welcome back. Thank you so very much for tuning in. It's fantastic to have you all back again. Thank you so much for clicking play. Sean from SGT Report here with my returning guest and longtime friend with his feet firmly rooted in the communist state of Canada. It's Christopher James, a Warrior Calls. Chris, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Sean. You couldn't have said that any more eloquently. It's actually disgusting what's going on in our country here today, Canada, also for my brothers and sisters in the United States.
It is.
And that's why we've got to get these truths in the hearts, minds, and soul of people as quickly and as simply as possible, Sean.
Yeah, amen. I want to just show you guys a couple of things to start with. By the way, Chris, you'll appreciate this. Maybe we'll play this clip later if you want to hear any of it. But Yuval Noah Harari is looking pretty exhausted, very tired in this clip as he tries to defend himself where he previously maligned Bitcoin. And I guess he got taken to the woodshed. And I just said, you look exhausted, Harari, probably because we the people are winning. By the way, you can go straight back to hell, you anti-human Rothschild puppet. But where I really wanted to start today is with the big pharma vaccine program, which you know, Chris, isn't just a war against humanity. It's a war against God. This from Greg Reese. Dean Hamer.
By the way, this episode is labeled The War Against God, Country, and Humanity.
In a 2005 presentation to the DoD about VMAT2 gene deletion. I remember seeing this video. I should have saved it. It all goes down the memory hole. Greg Reese just rebirthed it. And again, it is a war against God. Yes. And a war against humanity. Yes. Listen to this, 2005.
A viral video which claims to be a leaked 2005 presentation to the DoD by American geneticist Dean Hamer shows a man briefing a room of men about the VMAT2 gene, the God gene, and how it can be suppressed.
Destroying our connection to God with gene editing injections. It is wild. Somehow this wild hoax Bill Gates anti-vax video doesn't violate YouTube's policies. But me speaking out on Pfizer, hey, just go check the VAERS report, I'll get flagged. That's why we're really barely even touching anything on YouTube anymore.
With the use of vaccines.
Excuse me, on the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics. And this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR, expression of the VMAT2 gene. Our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, will eliminate this behavior.
In 2002, former news anchor Ryan Harper claimed in the San Francisco Chronicle that he created this video as a short film, but has provided no clear evidence to substantiate this claim. And if it is a hoax, then it appears to be disinformation, false information deliberately spread to employ strategic deceptions to advance political, military, or commercial goals. Because in 2009, Dean Hamer lectured at Marlborough College about this same subject.
Well, it turns out at least one gene that's involved in spirituality has now been identified. It's one, many different players. The next slide showed it. There's something called the vesicular monoamine transporter number 2.
And in 2004, Hamer published the book, The God Gene, How Faith is Hardwired into Our Genes, wherein he argues that a variation in the VMAT2 gene dictates one's openness to spiritual experiences, and without it, we cannot feel God. Not only is this information accurate, but it appears to have been deployed. In a recent article by Dr. Ariane.
Without that gene, we cannot feel God.
Love, it is shown that this technology has existed for years. The VMAT2 gene is a protein that carries several vital neurotransmitters to synapses in the brain. It basically controls the central nervous system. Deleting it, known as a knockout, would greatly reduce these neurotransmitters, creating an endless list of chronic health issues. VMAT2 deletion is accomplished using the SLC18A2 cDNA ORF clone, where cDNA is complementary DNA, which is used in human cloning and genetically modifying an organism. In 2013, Supreme Court judges ruled that cDNA added to target cells in the human genome makes a person patent eligible.
All right, that's what I wanted to get to. I'm coming back to you, Chris. I have a lot to say about that clip. You go first.
Well, I have that in my vault, so to speak, of evidence over the many years I've been collecting stuff, and that was very troubling when I saw it then. It's even more disturbing and applicable today in our world right now, Sean. What they're talking about doing to mankind, they are doing it right now. We're seeing this on all fronts, right across the board. And that is why, again, as I say to everybody, that courthouse remains the most powerful place for us to get into outside of a society we don't belong to called the bar. And if we can get in there with the police, the military, and get those claims and those courts and those warrants out for these people, I'll tie into this after you do your talk. But just yesterday, it's come out, a video has been released of Teresa Tam and some other, she's the woman up here that's part of the Service Corporation Canada that has been pushing all these injections and all these, threats of viruses and this death and destruction that's going to come forth if we don't stop this using these virology of soup, so to speak, that they've put out to everybody in the world. They've been caught gaslighting the people. They've been caught lying off mic. It really ramping this up. So these people, like I'm saying, Sean, all of them that are doing this from this video you talked about what Greg did there, these people need to be held accountable for what they're doing. And I don't know how it's going to happen when the vast majority of people are still asleep. So
that's it. That's just it. The vast majority of us still being asleep. We can't afford that. Have we already been effectively hacked, as Ferrari has said? We're hackable creatures, that they currently have the technology to control the masses. This is so demonic. It's so sick. I don't understand. Where are the men at? What are we doing? Cool, the courthouses aren't going to take us serious? Well, we'll take matters into our own hands. Civil tribunals. Get the military to join up. Let's have military tribunals. No more secrecy. Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's put the proper checks. We the people. So none of this goes on behind closed doors without essentially the people's blessing. Transparency is key. It's not that hard. And that's part of me, like, we don't even deserve to be safe because we're not even willing to save ourselves. We're not even willing to save our children. It's why it's not even about Trump anymore. It's not about political ideologies and things of that nature. Can't we all just step back and see that there's a ruling class that has built out a power structure? That it's no longer even about money for said individuals. It's control. And they are evil.
I'll turn it over to you, Sean.
Well, okay, so that video clip just reminds me. So VMAT2 gene deletion, right? The God gene. That's what they're calling it. They want to kill God in all of us so that we're hopelessly nihilistic and we will just fall prey and fall in line to the New World Order. But that clip reminds me of a mother who told the story of her son.
Without God, we would. Listen to the story.
Who took that video clip just reminds me. So VMAT2 gene deletion, right? The God gene. That's what they're calling it. They want to kill God in all of us so that we're hopelessly nihilistic and we will just fall prey and fall in line to the New World Order. But that clip reminds me of a mother who told the story of her son who took part in one of these trials. It was either the Moderna, AstraZeneca, or Pfizer trial. He took the vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccine, and I'm pretty sure it was Moderna. And she went public and said, my son reports that he can no longer feel God and he's feeling very depressed and now has suicidal thoughts. This is previously a very spiritual Christian boy who was active in his church. VMAT2 gene deletion. And, my credit to Greg Reese for bringing that clip back. I saw that clip years and years and years ago. I should have played that clip every day since, because it is a spiritual war, Chris. Yes. It's not just an anti-human war. So they don't just want to depopulate us. Those of us who survive the depop plan, they want us godless, controllable automatons. Yeah. That's what they want.
Absolutely, Sean. It's absolutely disgusting what they're doing. And don't forget, they've got the technology now. They can get right in at the cellular level and they can program that cell to not accept oxygen. Right. So this is just a layer of the technological advances they've made to mess with the consciousness of the mind of man. You're absolutely right. Everything is about stripping us away from God, our creator. Everything is about stripping us away from the love that we're supposed to have for each and every man or woman in this world. It's our duty to protect one another. And all of this is being stripped away. And that's why we have to stop these people. That's why I say, the bar is another prime example. I can go around all day long with them. The bar is a society that takes you away from God. If you ever look at their bar exams or whatever, it's everything that moves you away from that oneness with God.
Sorry, there's a clip that began to play automatically from my Twitter feed, and it's a clip from the new J.J. Carroll, Mark Carter documentary called What is Treason? They have boots on the ground in Chicago. I don't know. I don't really have the clip queued up, so maybe we won't play it. But what is treason? We need to talk about that in this interview. But let me circle back and just round out the conversation about the depop plan and the bioweapons masquerading as vaccines known as the COVID-19 injections. Only in a world such as this, where they are working so hard to depopulate, maim, and murder. No wonder Health Canada shut down all Masterpiece from getting into the country. You emailed me that on May 14th, and I wanted to ask you about it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So the bioweapons that are killing and maiming people all over the world, they're still pushing those, but Masterpiece, the nano-zeolite product that can help get phosgene, aluminum, and nanotech out of your body, that's no longer allowed in Canada?
Yep, it's absolutely sickening, Sean. Like I was saying, this evil's out and in our faces everywhere. No different than the FDA, where they're pushing all these vaccinations on the children or whatever.
This actually makes me that much more excited about the affiliation we have with Masterpiece. Think about it. There's a reason as to, just like they wanted to that they effectively demonized ivermectin and HCQ in Real Solutions. You'll hear from them that there's over 80,000 published studies proving Masterpiece is safe and that it works. And there's more. The longer it's out, there's just better reports and more exciting news happening as more and more people are taking it. I'm actually starting to run low on my Masterpiece. I'm going to order up a few more. I definitely would advise all of you do the same. The links to the Masterpiece will be below in the comment in the description section to this episode. Be sure to get yours today.
Passing them as if they're supposed to be safe. Up here in Canada, it's off the charts. They're actually blocking a product, Masterpiece, that has two natural elements only of this earth that was put here from our creator, again, drawing back to that was supposed to help mankind. Zeolite has the particular zeolite that we have. There's over 40 different types of them, but there's only one that's used in Masterpiece. When you look that one up, the Centa, I always pronounce it incorrectly, but it's on the labels and the bottles and on the website. That one there has over 80,000 published med papers on it, showing that it is not harmful or wrong for the body to ingest it. And the other element is marine plasma, another natural element that is in our bodies and in our world. So why is Health Canada blocking this? Well, it's pretty apparent because they're starting to recognize, no different as they've done with the hydrogen peroxide up here in Canada as well. You have to show your driver's license at a store because they keep it in the back room because they don't want people to get it because they've told everyone in the stores that terrorists are going to be using this stuff. Meanwhile, the hydrogen peroxide is another form of getting oxygen into your body, and many people have helped heal themselves from horrific diseases, be it cancer, you name it. So this is just an enormous trespass that is being dragged out into the light right now, and we're going to show the people how we hold these people accountable at Health Canada, Sean. Again, they've not produced any. What they're going by is that Masterpiece doesn't have a license with Health Canada. Well, no man or woman requires a license to do a damn thing in this world. Where the rubber hits the road is if you trespass and cause wrong or harm to a man or woman in any capacity, that's what the court is there for, to hold you accountable. We have a product that we've got well over several thousands of emails that have come into us now where people are telling us how their sleep is improving. We've got the verifiable evidence. These are not opinions that Sean and I are bringing forward here. We're showing you what had happened in 30 days, and we have a larger test that is wrapping up probably the end of July, early August.
These guys have nothing to do with the findings and research I did on this product. And then now vetting through my naturopathic doctors, and now that they're supplying it on their shelves. We are all ecstatic about Masterpiece and how it's removing all these nanotoxins and heavy metals and forever chemicals. It's literally a miracle tincture
that's really going to knock this out of the park, Sean, to leave no doubts whatsoever what Masterpiece is doing. It's removing the forever chemicals. It's removing the graphene oxide. It's removing aluminum in 90 days, up to 50% in our bodies. These are elements that have been in our body, Sean, for since you came into this world.
Right.
And this Masterpiece is a threat to this, incessant society, this evil that's out there today that's trying to kill mankind. This is helping removing these heavy metals, these toxins that are allowing this connectivity through wideband to basically affect and take over what you were talking about there with our bodies. And that's why it is so important. That's why the people in Canada is the only place in the world. It's 40 or 60 other countries, Matt was telling me, the CEO, that Masterpiece is accepted. It's being bought and shared and used in all these various different countries. And Canada is the first one to come out and shut it down. So you don't need to see anything more about that, Sean, and where this evil lurks in this country.
Right.
Well, yeah. And let's look at one of these disgusting New World Order sellouts in your country. If you look at some of the health ministers in Western nations, they are the most disgusting looking people you'll ever see physically. And, some of them are extremely overweight. In this case, this woman I just think is ugly from the inside out. And, the evil that lurks within her has manifested itself in her face, in my view. And it's interesting to note that she's Chinese born. Theresa Tam, the Chief Public Health Officer of Canada. Are you kidding me, man? I mean, you might as well just open the borders and let the Chinese troops in at this point. Chris?
Yep, it's absolutely, and it's debatable whether she's a woman or not. A lot of people are saying that she's had a sex change or whatever, but that's all irrelevant. That, whatever it is a corrupt to the core. And I've just emailed you right now, Sean. Sorry, I should have said this, just came in, I saw it just before we came on, but there's an email that Theresa Tam leaked meeting reveals H5N1 launch. And this is from Dr. Sam Bailey's. God bless her. They have this wonderful recording that they managed to capture these people when they were basically, a deadly new influenza virus is going to be coming. This is the new theater that they're going to roll out right now, probably in the fall or whatever. And it's absolutely sickening what's going on. Absolutely sickening.
Is there a clip here we can play?
You can listen to it now. I haven't seen it myself. I just read it, the intro part here. But it's basically, this is the next pandemic, the next, phase that they've been waiting to roll out here because they haven't been able to do it too much over the early part of 2024 with the winter. So now they're going to probably ramp this up for September, I would imagine, the fall or whatever, if they don't pull the plug.
All right, folks, on all this, just know you're going to get better information on Rumble. They live stream so many people. We will even start live streaming, especially when it comes to current events. So as, podcasters or networks such as Stu Peters and, Gains Your Trust or Charlie Kirk, and they're doing these live streams to maybe the debates or anything, like resort to that. Not the news channels that are gaslighting and lying. Of course there's many things coming down the pipe. It might be aliens, solar flares, global warming hoax, this plandemic. We know better. Don't be duped. Don't fear. But do what you can to get prepared. Do what you can in prepping your body and having what you need to not falling sick to whatever they basically unleash upon us, as they've said. God. It is time to go on the offense. Why are we just sitting here like freaking sitting ducks? I'm ready for action. Enough talk. Truth is, in order to really organize that, we need a bigger following. That's why I liked plugging what Stu Peters was doing, Ivan Rakelin, so we can kind of actively support those individuals in what they're doing. But as this grows, I just hope and pray it gets big enough to a point we could step in and really help minimize the days of suffering and this tyrannical rule. This is insane. Google has launched a truth vaccine that will expose people to weakened doses of misinformation, so they can develop mental antibodies to fend off hoaxes, essentially keeping them to believe their propaganda, manipulate folks to believe that, fending off truth. It's control. Give this a listen.
So big tech has plans to vaccinate your mind in order to protect you from so-called misinformation.
Pre-bunking is the opposite of debunking, so it's a preemptive technique based on the idea of psychological inoculation. So just as vaccines expose people to a weakened dose of a virus to try to trigger the production of antibodies to help prevent future infection, it works the same with pre-bunking. You preemptively try to refute a future falsehood or the techniques that are used to dupe people online so that people can build up cognitive or mental antibodies so that when they actually come across it in the future, they're partly immune.
That's right. Isn't this great, everybody? You could be immune from misinformation if you receive these forced inoculations. Here it is from the Washington Post. Modeled after vaccines, these campaigns, dubbed pre-bunking, expose people to...
Wow, everyone that was wrong. All these places were wrong. They have lost all their credibility. Who are they to now say, oh, we're going to do things right this time? We'll definitely stop the spread of misinformation. Are you freaking kidding me?
To weaken doses of misinformation paired with explanations and are aimed at helping the public develop mental antibodies to recognize and fend off hoaxes in a heated election year. In the run-up to next month's European Union election, for example, Google and partner organizations are blanketing millions of voters with ads on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram that teach common tactics used to propagate lies and rumors on social media or in email.
Wow.
Wojna w Ukrainie trwa nie tylko w terenie, ale także w twoim telefonie. Żeby wygrać, pieniądz ich wszyscy zabiera nam mieszkania.
And if they're going to do this,
Daje za darmo Ukraińcom.
okay, a little bit of information warfare. And if they're going to do this to us, it might be good for us to know which cabal of elites are priming us on what's true and not true. So let's dig around to see who are the ones responsible for determining which ideas or information needs to be pre-bunked. So here's their website, prebunking.withgoogle.com. It's run by a company called Jigsaw, which is a unit within Google that explores threats to open societies and builds technology that inspires scalable solutions. You know, classic tech babble nonsense. The CEO of Jigsaw is this lady, Yasmin Green. Now, this next part is probably all a coincidence. It has to be a coincidence.
No, it's
Yasmin
not.
Green is also on the board of directors of the Anti-Defamation League.
Wow.
Like I said, this has to be a coincidence for sure. The ADL, of course, if y'all don't know, is basically Israel's attack dog in the U.S. Of course, they pose as a civil rights group, but in terms of their operations, they're basically an intelligence organization targeting Israel's critics. Elon Musk even tweeted back in September 2023 that the ADL has tried very hard to strangle free speech on his platform. Right. And now, these same people, apparently censorship is, doesn't go far enough. Now they want to vaccinate your brain in order to pre-bunk misinformation.
Wow. Are we just going to idly sit by and allow that to happen? See, the more that they roll out these type of tactics, the more they infiltrate our think across the board. And the ones that are indoctrinated, even to a degree, are just going to be that much more in depth into it. And they'll pull some others out of the awakening along with it, undoubtedly. We just gonna sit idly by? They are literally setting out to make you and I dumber. Literally, not just infringing upon all of our rights and God-given experience here, but ruling out our free agency. Before even having an opportunity for a decision, they are jumping in. Can you see what's happening here? Can you see the dangers? We're hackable creatures, remember? We're easily controlled. Is that what you want to be? Is that what you want for your children? It's interesting. Squirrel, side note, is I was driving with my friend just briefly yesterday in his truck here in Arizona. The chemtrails were horrific. And then there was one specific, I did even a recording because as soon as I stepped out of the house, it was like, what the, this is incredibly bad. But then I could see a jet with a natural dissipating contrail. And you can't have both. It's either or. So he had this natural dissipating contrail, and I did this video, and on the spot, I'm tripping up over my words and blah, blah, blah. I thought maybe it could be something I threw up on TikTok or something. But by the end of it, the one in that contrail, he must have now flipped the switch, and it went from dissipating to mega blasting and dumping and actually spraying. But it was strategically all graphed up. You could see how it was stretching out. And it just blows my mind how people haven't connected the dots, that it's a real thing. Our own government has admitted to it. It's a real thing. Geoengineering is a real thing. The spray coming from, and they've commercialized it. So commercial, they've privatized it. So a lot of private jets, and they've militarized it. So a lot of the military, and they say it's relatively cheap. So it's being done. It's indisputable. So once again, the question becomes, is it harmful? And it is on a cellular freaking level. So it's like warfare's happening before our eyes, but the majority of people won't even believe their own two eyes. And it just hit me. I genuinely would rather have bombs be going off, and as horrific as that sounds, because that would mean immediate loss of life. But I genuinely feel there would be less loss of life because we could engage, because we wouldn't just idly sit by and allow ourselves to be like, instead of us just all in the pot of hot water, here we go with a frog analogy on the stove again, and just all slowly getting boiled and just a few getting jumping out and then suicided. Like we all, bombs start going off. Like we all jump out. And yes, even we'll have casualties with bombs. Duh. But we're not idly sitting by anymore. We'll engage in the enemies that are waging war against us. It's no different. The warfare and these tactics being used to poison our minds, to weaken us to where we don't even see it that much clearer. And then the other angle with the fast food, and then the other angle with the inoculations, and the other angle with the poison in the water, and the other. What in the frick? Maybe we are legitimately dumbed down to a point bombs could go off and we'd be like, meh. I still want that truck. Maybe we are. Maybe that analogy just doesn't even matter anymore. Can you tell I'm a little discouraged? I don't want evil to have that impact on me. It's one of the war tactics to demoralize individuals in a nation. But it's in demoralizing them is putting them more so in a position of not doing anything about it. But here I am showing up, screaming from the rooftop, trying to evoke emotional, legitimate, real responses that people can absorb and grasp, and join me essentially with the singular statement of enough is enough. Let's rule out all secrecy. No more ruling over us. We the people unite. Freaking let's go. Otherwise, it's here. We do nothing. It's exposed. They're going to rule out. They're going to do everything they can to rule out God. They're going to do everything to hack us, control us, put us in the small box that will own nothing and be happy. Right now, it seems as though we have a choice. What do you choose? This is insane. Dumbs, cloning is real. Human mix with a tiger. The individual that posted this said, I was so hesitant to posting videos like this because they are coming out of the underground labs where the most horrific experience that has been taking place for decades and decades. There are so much more worse videos than this. This is unbelievable, folks. One hand's kind of a paw, the other's more morphed human. Why are we allowing... Wasn't cloning ruled out? Isn't that illegal? We have no idea what the freak they've been up to. I say no more secrecy. I say we band together. I think we have enough. Let's just deputize and call for Bill Gates' arrests. You tell me, what is the clearest path to action that we could start having right now as we're growing? Call for the arrests? I call for the arrest of Fauci and Bill Gates today. I call for the indictment and impeachment of Joe Biden. I freaking mean it. Why are we allowing them to get away with this? Rules for thee and not for me. No accountability. This two-tiered system. What happened to America? Truth is, they've gotten us so divided. What a freaking mess. They have effectively purchased the right things to indoctrinate and worked up in the labs the right ways to get us ill, worked up the right ways to corrupt medical system that serves band-aids and perpetuates illness, never getting the roots of issues with minor reliefs. Golly. We've been duped into this system horrifically. I mean, so much so that when you speak out on it to so many people, they won't even be willing to do their research and look into the information. Oh, really? What makes you say that? Check out this source. Watch this video. I'm glad you asked. They've got them so brainwashed and indoctrinated from their education and just obeying authoritative figures that anyone that would dare speak out, they are the issue. People are so brainwashed, they ridicule, they criticize the free thinkers. It's unbelievable. That it goes back to that Rockefellers, why they created the education system here in America, to solely produce a nation of workers and not a nation of thinkers. They very effectively have done just that. It's playing out in that very scenario. The time is right stinking now. Let's get this video to 10 million people. What if that's all it took? I'm sure there's more steps that would need to take place. But wouldn't that help? I know it would help. But do we grasp the importance enough to make that a reality? To blow it up to that extent? So we can then, let's say, ramp up the pressures with episodes on certain sheriffs to indict and investigate certain individuals and start clearing house, let's do it. I'd make sure your voices get heard. That's what I'm here for. Anything I can do to help. All of that is encompassed into it. So let's go. What are we waiting for? Share this with freaking everyone you know. Who cares what they think? Share it. I love these. We should queue up this lady that basically gets confronted as a racist, but she keeps her cool so much. It's unbelievable. It's like, oh really? How so? Why do you say that? Why am I a racist? They couldn't give an answer. And inevitably they're just, you like Trump. Oh really? So it's like, I like Trump. Like, so why is that? They've lost it. You care about them? Sure, we care about them, but you care what they have to negatively say about you? Our futures are at stake. It's time to step on some toes. You could apologize. Didn't mean to step on your toe. This is just the reality of the situation. I hope you get on board with it because I care about you. Let's freaking go. So I just wanted to play this because I want to warn us all on things that could be dragging us down and rendering us less effective. Because I personally feel if we individually up our resilience and our bandwidth and our function and we're operating at 100%, we would take more on, as in we wouldn't accept being ruled over. But this has been a long dumbing down process throughout decades now, through our childhood vaccine schedules and everything. But fluoride right here on trial. We know it's a neurotoxin that has many negative effects. Yet the government insists on dumping the waste product of fertilizer in your drinking water. It's okay, though. The government really cares about preventing you from getting cavities. CDC admits under oath that fluoride interferes with the function of the brain and the body. Give this a listen.
CDC agrees with NRC that it is apparent that fluorides have the ability to interfere with the functions of the brain and the body by direct and indirect means.
Yes, CDC in connection with the Intergovernmental Work Group.
It's correct.
Then why is it in our water?
CDC does not have any data on the tolerable upper fluoride intake for neurotoxic effects for infants.
Yes.
Okay. And you see how the definition also includes toddlers. Mm-hmm. So CDC does not have any data on the tolerable upper fluoride intake for neurotoxic effects on toddlers.
That's true.
Okay. There's been 2 studies now from the Dr. Who's birth cohort in Mexico City, and there's been 2 studies from the Canadian cohort that Dr. Lanphier has been working on. All 4 of these studies have found significant and large associations between early life fluoride exposure and adverse neurodevelopmental effect.
Wow. God, please help us seize the day. Selflessly wake up to our oppressors and those that would do harm upon your beautiful children of this world. Help us unite as one to rule out this corruption. I pray. Amen. Listeners, unmuzzled chat warriors, I don't want you dumbed down. Let's up our health. God will lead the way. I know it for all of us. This is this is truth. Most are probably gonna more so struggle with, but it boils down to, It's like the same thing, an issue I had with alcohol. And just had to face that man in the mirror. Do you value this existence? It's the only one we got. The answer really should be, heck yes, we all do. Yes, we do. So what does that mean for me? Cut out alcohol. Also sugars and all these other poisonous things. But a lot of us clearly haven't and struggle. But give this a listen and let it be fuel to being honest with that reflection facing back in the mirror. You are stronger than you know. And the more it's not even sacrifice because it's to your benefit. The more you successfully eradicate the bad and bring in the good, you'll feel it. Man, I can't wait to see that version of you. And for those that don't choose that and just want to just poison themselves more and more, you're throwing your life away. And that's sad.
Sugar in a baby's brain is called ADHD. Sugar in an adult's brain is called dementia and Alzheimer's. Sugar in your eyes is called glaucoma. Sugar in your teeth is called cavities. Sugar on your skin is called aging. Sugar in your sleep is called insomnia. Sugar in your blood is called diabetes. Excess sugar in your system is called cancer. Sugar on Wall Street, it's called billion-dollar industry. Addiction to sugar is 8 times more powerful than cocaine. Know who the real enemy is.
8 times more addictive than cocaine. Know who the real enemy is. Because it isn't just the sugar. It's the manufacturers. And then you could tie all that up. And what, lo and behold, surprise, surprise, who are they all connected to? The same people in the pharmaceutical, the same corruption in the government, the same freaking corruption with the dollar in this deaded, defective system. It's the few, man. This is wild. Imagine what they can do to your blood using frequencies. This is only 25 hertz. This is crazy. Wow. It's making water out of a faucet go from straight to zigzag. Incredible. I'm learning more and more about frequencies, and it's wild. My heart goes out to the children, and this is unacceptable. And if this doesn't highlight for the freaking men to stand up and sit down what you got to do to show up on behalf of these children, the cowardice in this country, I'm really struggling here. We don't deserve to be saved. Give this a listen.
Now is because of the other guys that they've said is they can process them in, but they're basically like Desk Sergeant has said, don't bring them in. There's nothing that the DA is going to do now. Just write it up, file it up, and that's all we can do now. LA is not going to prosecute pedophiles.
You hear that? The LA is not going to prosecute pedophiles. It's unreal. Child predators being released back on the streets in Los Angeles. And this is many places in the USA. The desk sergeant has said, don't bring them in. There is nothing that the DA is going to do now. Just write it up, file it up, and that's all we could do now. LA is not going to prosecute pedophiles. So we just got to keep bringing a light to it, because unfortunately, this is just disgusting. State's police are doing everything they can, but the DA is not supporting them. Let's play the clip in its entirety.
All they can do now is because of the other guys that they've said is they can process them in, but they're basically like Desk Sergeant has said, don't bring them in. There's nothing that the DA is going to do now. Just write it up, file it up, and that's all we can do now. LA is not going to prosecute pedophiles. So we got to just keep bringing a light to it. It's unfortunately no fault of theirs.
Hold on a
They've done
second.
everything they can for us, but it's the DAs in California that are refusing to prosecute pedophiles. The Police are doing everything they can, but the DA is not supporting them. All they can do now is, because of the other guys that they've said, is they.
This is so wrong. This is unacceptable. One lady in California has had enough, and she speaks up. Good on you. However, she's stepping down. These are the people we need to support and have in these positions. But she cannot stand for this sickness any longer. Give this a listen.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Eggman.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. I'd like to say, as a progressive, proud member of this body for the last 12 years, I'm done. I'm done with us protecting people who would buy.
Senator Susan Talamentes Eggman.
And abuse our children. I'm done. I don't want to send more black and brown men to prison. I don't want more people in prison, but I don't want people buying girls. I don't want people buying little girls anymore. And I'm tired of saying it's okay and that we have to protect.
We don't have to put people in prison. You touch our children, we kill you. Or was that? Whoa. Yeah. You touch our children, we kill you. Personally, I don't feel you're worth the bullet. Save the bullet. Use a noose. Make it public. How many pervs are going to live out their perversions then? Dare I say, some of them might even eventually find Christ and beat back that character flaw and sin within them or demonic spirit trying to influence them. But unleashing them and allowing them to continually prey upon children is not an acceptable solution. Rehab, the point you prey on a child, it is not an acceptable solution. That's why for the longest of time, those freaking pedophiles get dealt with in prisons. I know Stu says that a lot. You touch our children, we'll kill you. Yeah, sounds like a pretty clear solution to me.
The men who do it. As a mental health professional and as a social worker, I can tell you I've spent my entire career working with people who have been wounded. I'm not going to say beyond repair, but they have been wounded to their core by the abuse that's been heaped on them, oftentimes by those that they love.
So sad.
And look to protect them. And if their parents won't do it, then by God, we should. Again, I am not arguing that we open the gates to flood our prisons with people, but I am arguing that we have a moral responsibility to say enough. Right. Enough. We have given away enough on this area, and we've got to move back into the center, or we all look like fools and laughing stocks. And what do we stand for?
Right.
I ask all of you to watch the documentary that Senator Grove was in, Senator from Kern County was just in, that talked about this very place in Sacramento where girls are being bought and sold. Men are being given a slap in the hand or a couple days, and then they're back out again, and they do the same thing. They get caught over and over and over again, and somehow that's okay. It's not okay.
It is not.
It is not okay anymore. And no more am I watching. Like I said, I'm leaving, but the rest of you who are going to be here for a while, let's get our stuff together.
With her gone, how much worse is it going to get? Unless we do something about it. How many more children?
And really start focusing on some of the important things. We talk about learning and we talk about being safe. This is like at the core of it. And a lot of these kids can be throwaway kids. They're poor kids. They're kids of color. But they shouldn't have to live a life determined by what happens to them by others at a very young age. And by have the Democratic Party of California say it's okay. It's not okay. And I'm not doing it anymore, and I hope none of you do too. We have to be able to draw a line. And for me, I'm drawing a line. I urge your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Eggman.
I applaud that woman. She needs to be promoted. She needs to be funded. She needs to be supported and backed. You could see the emotion and passion. She would create great solution. Let's stop going backwards. Move the ball forward. A prediction 15 years ago, folks. 15 years ago. Here you go.
Short time, not today, not tomorrow, but very soon, we'll be facing compulsory vaccination under the short time, not today, not tomorrow, but very soon, we'll be facing compulsory vaccination under the mistaken term of voluntary vaccination. But the U.S. government has a trick up their sleeve.
Which is?
They will induce a pandemic. You're going to get the flu. Everybody around us is going to get the flu.
If people start dying massively from these inoculations, won't there be like a revolution, a rebellion, a rising up from the peasants?
It's a very good question. No, I guess 15, 20, 30 million worldwide, roughly, isn't enough to rise up and cause a rebellion. What more do we need? Call me a wuss bag over here, but I'm getting quite emotional over all this because, damn it, like, too many are suffering. And there are people within my very own circles that won't set down their personal engagements and be honest with themselves as to what is taking place around them, and inevitably what in fact they would be leaving behind for their children. I don't get it. If I can't get through to them, that's why I'm so grateful for those of you here that do get it, that do continually show up. So this is wild. I believe even his topic, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, there's something to it, right? There's something to it. Why don't we get to the bottom of it? The more impactful, other than its entertainment value, would be how he was treated, how he wasn't listened to. And it doesn't have to be this singular topic either. How our grievances aren't being addressed. Things have been too far corrupted. It's going to take a certain percentage of our populace to actively assemble and get organized and rule this stuff out of here. Yeah, I want to drop a bunch of 4-letter words. I'm not happy with the current state of affairs, folks. Give this a listen.
Good morning, commissioners. Today I come here asking for your help, but first a little backstory. I think we all remember the Challenger explosion that took place in 1986 that tragically took the lives of all 7 astronauts on board. It launched not too far from where we're standing here today. Well, the interesting thing is, a couple decades later, this thing called the internet came about, and someone allegedly found almost all of those astronauts alive and well, many using the same exact names.
Interesting.
As you can see here, we have Challenger astronaut Judith Resnick and also a Judith Resnick Yale law professor. Michael J. Smith, the pilot of the Challenger astronaut, and also professor at University of Wisconsin, now retired Michael J. Smith. Commander Dick Scobie, who is now president of Cows and Trees. Now, if you'll notice, they all have the exact same faces 30 some odd years later, the same exact name, and they are the same age. Now, we all have a doppelganger out there, right? No big deal. But to have the same face, the same age, and the same exact name is extremely rare. So rare, I could only find one case in the last 120 years. And we're supposed to believe that 3 people from one spaceflight have exact lookalikes that have the same age and same exact names.
Good point.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is beyond statistically impossible. Ms. Resnick was questioned at Yale by a journalist, and she panicked and ran from the camera. Why? Mr. Michael J. Smith was also questioned, and he said, yeah, we look alike, but that's not me. You can see both of these exchanges in a film called Level with Me, and you can be the judge. Mr.
Sir, I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to stop.
Sir, this is a public comment.
I know what it is, sir. I'm very familiar with the public comment.
Okay.
And part of the public comment is that you're only allowed to address things that we have jurisdiction over. We have no.
I have a direct request at the end of this that is in your purview, sir, please. I do. Can we hold the time, please? I have a direct request that.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Very carefully.
Entitled.
Mr. Richardson, would you give an opinion in regards to this, please?
Yes, public comment is reserved for issues or topics that are under the jurisdiction or control of the county commission or that are relevant to the business of the county commission. So if your request at the end is going to explain why that falls into any of this, make that request now before you continue.
Absolutely. So as I was saying, I'll just end it with what I was ending with. But the ask is that Ms. Pritchett, who knows very well about questioning science, whether it be COVID or fluoride, I'm just asking you all to question the science here. Your Goodson and Pritchett, your district covers the Kennedy Space Center. This launched from the Kennedy Space Center. You have the ability to help me in sounding the alarm and asking the federal government for help. If this is contained in your area, I should be able to at least address something that happened here. Don't you agree?
That's not within the jurisdiction or authority of the county commission.
Thank you very much.
Will you let me finish for at least 10
No,
seconds?
sir, you're finished. Thank you.
Thank you for taking away my freedom of speech today in here.
I did not take away your freedom of speech.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I don't want to hear it from you people down here.
Just because this is an uncomfortable topic.
Officers, please remove this man from the room.
He just violated the First Amendment. Yes, he is.
I didn't violate the First Amendment.
Yes,
He violated the rules.
This is a limited public forum, and the meeting is for the purpose of the business of the county commission.
But you didn't
it's
hear him
not
out.
for this purpose.
Now, if you want to go too, take him out too. Officer, take him out also.
Let's just.
How do we
just calm
allow?
down. They can.
How do we allow such clearly? Whoever that is, that loud dude in the white shirt up top. This other gentleman was nothing but civil, to the point, respectful. What is up your butt, sir? Yeah, done. Need to find the eject button. You do not belong in that seat.
Leave willingly.
No, we're leaving willingly. You don't have to remove us.
You just made a decision about NASA. You're making your decisions based.
Jurisdiction, sir.
All right, well, you violated the First Amendment already.
Thank you very much for your opinion.
Yeah, maybe check reading it out again.
These astronauts are alive, by the way. Look it up. You can't have three doppelgangers. You can't. Same face, same name, same age. It's impossible. Look it up. Statistically impossible.
On Point Behavioral Center's right down the street. That's where I
Where you suggest he goes, oh, yeah, throw an insult towards him.
suggest you go.
Just because you think this is a mental problem, I should still be able to talk.
Exactly. That fringed on his First Amendment right.
It's your opinion, sir.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. You too. Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Thanks again.
Yeah, y'all have a good one.
All right, take care.
Thanks. As I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted and my First Amendment was
Right.
violated during the public comment period here in Brevard County, I was saying that Mr. Scobie is the most interesting because not only does he have the same age, same face, same name, same slanted eye in the cheek if you look very closely, get this, he created a company called Cows and Trees, and the promo video has a cow blasting off strapped to a rocket, leaving a smoke trail eerily similar to that of the Challenger explosion. You couldn't make this up if you tried. That's why I today am calling on the Brevard County Commissioners to stand with me in demanding the Senate Subcommittee on Space Science open a new investigation into the Challenger explosion. Because if this is all one big coincidence, no big deal. But if it's true, people watch what they believe were 7 people blown up on live television, inflicting emotional and psychological trauma on millions of Americans. And we deserve to know why on earth something like that would be done.
Right.
And like I was saying to Commissioner Pritchett and Commissioner Goodson, the only reason I'm back in here is because NASA ignored my last request and was completely unresponsive about the ISS discrepancies. I was blocked by their public affairs officer after one polite request.
Why?
Commissioner Pritchett and Commissioner Goodson cover the area that contains the Kennedy Space Center.
You gotta ask. And it goes from everything. We can't get through to the CDC, the FDA, NASA, our own. None of our grievances are getting addressed from all different aspects to our existence here. Is it no longer of the people, by the people, and for the people? It's all backwards. And this is a very crystal clear example. And this gentleman does a fantastic job basically exploiting that.
So I was just simply hoping that they would be able to help me in some way since it is their territory. I still thank them for their time, and I wish I was able to finish my speech, but we finished outside, and that's good enough. I hope we can get some transparency with NASA one way or another.
Is that too much to ask for? Transparency, folks. Transparency. That's what we want. And I actually believe the daily devotional, of course, is going to have some type of meaningful impact to how I've been feeling today. No doubt. It's just how it goes. I mean, even this notebook I use, I have the same one as my journal, has scripture reference. I need to start reading these off. Walk in the way of love, just as Christ loved us and gave himself for us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. Ephesians 5:2. Wow. Okay. We are May 29th states, I am with you, watching over you constantly. I am Emmanuel, God with you. My presence unfolds you in radiant love. Nothing, including the brightest blessings and the darkest trials, can separate you from me. See, as much as I would fear the evil's directly trying to do just that, rule out this connection in God. You know, it's stating, now this isn't out of the Bible itself, but there are ones in here that reference that. I should have queued it up. But nothing, including the brightest blessings and darkest trials, can separate you from me. Some of my children find me more readily during dark times when difficulties force them to depend on me. Others feel closer to me when their lives are filled with good things. They respond with thanksgiving and praise, thus open wide the door to my presence. I know precisely when you need to draw nearer to me. Go through each day looking for what I have prepared for you. Accept every event as my hand-tailored provision for your needs. When you view your life this way, the most reasonable response is to be thankful. Do not reject any of my gifts. Find me in every situation. I clearly have a lot of work to do. I am a faulty, defective sinner. We have Matthew 1:23. It reads, is this right? Matthew 1:23. It reads, look, the virgin will conceive a child. She will give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God is with us. I just absorbed a lot from that. Nice. Pulled out the the book. Didn't quite get the page. Lucky we can edit. All right, the second verse of the day. Colossians 2:6-7. And now, just as you accepted Christ Jesus as your Lord, you must continue to follow him. Let your roots grow down into him, and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow strong in the truth you were taught, and you will overflow with thankfulness. Now, we're all human. We're going to ebb and flow. I'm clearly ebbing and flowing over here. I tell you, I just know there's so much more we can engage in and do and have a positive impact. And I'm anticipating the day we can have a bigger impact. Please help us achieve that by sending this far and wide. I thank you. God bless you all. Be sure to get that masterpiece. Check out the links below if you want another thing to help protect against all these toxins. I swear by Bond Charge, the infrared sauna blanket. It works amazingly. Still got the 15% discount there. So that's $100 off that blanket. And it emits all the right frequencies and infrared. It's a powerful blanket. Very easy to set up, very easy to clean. And I just throw it off to the side of the bed when I'm done. It's just right there. So setup's less than a minute, breakdown's less than a minute. Just right there. It'd take me longer to drive to the gym one way than for setup and breakdown. Check out the Centropic products. I know that it's going to help us with fight against all the frequencies and whatnot. We're slowly gearing up. It's nice to have things and protections until we can unite effectively to rule these threats out. I do know as evil loses more and more of the narrative, that's why they're now trying to stop misinformation through crazy freaking means. What lengths are they not willing to go to? EMP threats or grave threats. Be sure to get one minimally on your vehicle. Order one today. Get the $50 off each of those discounts. Use the links below. We'll continue to do the calls to action on to stop funding the enemies, these mega providers that are using our money against us, and support Patriot Mobile. They are on the front lines on our behalfs. They're the only mobile provider that has conservative Christian values. It will give you a security blanket of privacy. Check them out. Be sure to use the promo code UNMUZZLED. That's enough for today. God bless you all, and I thank you for your prayers. Take care.